Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I want to talk about my top picks for crawling philodendrons. Now, I don't know about you guys, or maybe I am just not on trend anymore, but I did a quick search on YouTube just to see what is currently trending out there right now, and nothing is really showing up for me. I don't know what it is. But anyways, I figured I made an all film this video because I've had these plants since 2023 and they have just been thriving. Mind you, they do need a little bit of TLC because they have been neglected, which seems to be a common theme, but they are still really big and thriving. I'm here to sprucing up so that way I have something to show for in the spring. So let's start with this plant right here. I can never say its name. Come on, I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna, there you go. That's the name of this plant. I did purchase this from Equigenera and it is growing so freaking much and it looks pristine. Do you see this leaf? Do you see this? Look at it. It's perfect. And one of the reasons why I love this plant was, well, one of the reasons why I love all philodendrons that are crawling. Yeah, I think most of them have heart-shaped leaves. Crawling philodendrons have heart-shaped leaves. I could be wrong, but the ones in my collection all have heart-shaped leaves. But yeah, this is just stunning. And what's unique about this plant is the back. So, ooh, I don't know if I can show you guys without totally dropping this, but maybe I will insert a clip. But yeah, the back of this plant, like on the petiole, looks so weird, so creepy, but it's so cool at the same time. You just kind of have to appreciate it, and I'm here for it. And I think when the new leaf merges, it actually merges like a nice, I don't know, like pink color that, I don't know, just, it just brings me joy. Okay, I don't feel like we should have a reason why we love plants other than the fact that it's pretty to us and it gives us a nice boost of serotonin and dopamine. So anyways, this plant is currently residing in ponds. No, you guys can tell, but it is definitely growing out of the pot. And my intention for this plant for this year is start air layering it so that way I can put it in a different container so that it can just grow and thrive and continue to put off new leaves. So I feel like all of them have kind of stunted in growth because it's root bound and it needs more room to grow. I did start peeling back the sheath and there was quite a bit. It looks really gross and dried up, but peeling it back, actually, if I can lower this, there you go. Peeling it back, it did expose some nice aerial roots that aren't so dry. So my intention is to actually air layer this whole section right here. And then hopefully in the next couple of months, there will be some nice roots and I can put it back in ponds or whatever it is that I have and just give it a cut. Now, I know you can, in theory, just cut it back and hope and pray that it'll, oops, dropped my tape. What was I saying? I have ADHD. I'm sorry, you guys. I think what I was saying was, in theory, I can just cut it back and just air layer it like this. So give it a chop and then just air layer. Oh, hi, Rick. But I think I tried that in the past and it just didn't take, like it didn't do very well. And I think that was just because there wasn't enough nutrients that was going to the plant to sustain the top cut. So it's just better to air layer crawling plants like this and then give it a cut. The roots have already started growing and once it kind of acclimates to its new substrate, it'll just continue to grow and thrive versus starting over. Now, I guess what I could have also done was just give it a cut and throw it in some water. Maybe I will do that if this becomes a nuisance. I don't recall cutting any of my crawling plants and shoving it in water to see if it'll grow. I don't think I've ever done that. Have you guys tried doing that? Did it work? I want to know. Leave a comment down below so that we can all learn from you guys. But yeah, I guess in theory you could. I feel like that would work if it was like just a node. Like it was like a small chunk, not a big chunkster. Anyways, I think, oh, I'm missing some here. I need some more moss back here. To think that back in the day, I used to be so obsessed with doing the most for my plants, and now I'm just like, just water. Spread some like fertilizer, foliage spray on it. And what I mean by that is thinking back on how obsessed I was with, I feel like it was all a trend. You know, like back in the day, I would have soaked this moss in HB 101 and told myself, oh, it was pushing off more roots than ever. But, you know, I don't know. I just feel a little bit silly now. I don't know why. I just do. But I feel like it was all just a hype thing. And yeah, I don't know. Times have changed, man. Now I'm just like, into water you go. I don't add anything special to it. I just add water and let it do its thing. And this is like living proof that you don't need to do too much for these philodendrons. And I don't think I've done a lot for any of my other plants either, which is probably why a lot of them have stunted in growth. But for a busy person like me, whose life is bound to get even busier, it's not sustainable. Not at all. But anyways, all right, all done. It's wrapped up and stuffed with as much moss as it could. And yeah, we're just gonna hope, pray to the plant god that it starts putting off some roots for me in the next couple of weeks. I will check in on this 5 weekly. I don't like disturbing this whole contraption that I just created, just because it's a pain to unravel everything, just to revavel. Is that a word? Anyways, my point is, it's just a pain to unravel everything and putting it back together, only because moss gets everywhere. I'm a very lazy person. I do have a very hard time keeping moss moist. So I'm hoping that this just, you know, stays moist for quite some time, which is why I'm taping everything up as much as I can. It's probably overkill, but whatever. Okay, enough rambling. So I'm going to put this down because it is very big and top heavy. What's next? Let's talk about this gloriosum right here. You guys know I love my gloriosum. I was obsessed. I needed to have the gloriosum zebra. I needed to have the gloriosum silver. Just, I wanted it all. And they all look the same now. They all look the same. And I'm kind of like, oh my God, why did I spend so much money? Someone should have stopped me. Honestly, somebody out there should have stopped me. Because now the prices have dropped for these gloriosums. Actually, for all of these plants, they dropped significantly. And, oh, so the previous plant that I had shown you, the price for that plant, I think, is $17 now. So if you actually go on Equigenera, let me open up my phone here. You can pick it up for $17. I do not remember how much I had actually paid, but I do know it was under $30 because back in 2023, I did like houseplants that are under $50, 50 USD dollars. And now you can pick this up for 17 bucks. Insane. This gloriosum zebra, I'm pretty sure was 30 USD, and it was still difficult to get just because it was a trending plant. Like everybody and their moms wanted this plant. But yeah, now nobody really talks about it. Now people are just kind of talking about anthuriums because we're all just making hybrids of them. But anyways, I am just trimming this back. I am just trimming this back now. Okay, I think we're good like this. So it's looking kind of weird. So it's growing down and up. It definitely needs some help. I'm not sure what I can do for this because it just, you know, it's doing its thing and it needs to be guided to grow straight because right now it is definitely not straight. I don't know what the hell this is. This is gross and it feels not so nice. Okay, so this is a very dry aerial root right here. And it has some nice fresh aerial roots growing here. You know, I really want to just cut it, but it's not like, I don't know. I really want to repot this. That's what I want to do. I want to repot this and put it in this container that I have purchased from, oh, you can see, that I have purchased from IKEA because it's so cute. There you go. I'm spoofing Riz. I'm so sorry, Riz. Anyway, okay, so I want to repot it back into, not back, I want to repot into this, which is a terracotta little self-watering container, which, why do they call it self-watering? Because there's no holes or strings. You claiming to self-watering? I take it back, maybe not. Anyways, I want to repot it into here because I think it will look so cute, and I really wanted my gloriosum zebras being here. I actually bought this for this plant. As you can see, it's growing really weird. So I'm gonna go off camera and see what I can do. Okay, so my intention was to go off camera to see what I can do, but I feel like y'all want to see this. So this gloriosum was growing in ponds, and it has been totally neglected and very, very root bound. As you can see, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull anything from out of here. I am forced to actually use scissors and give it a cut. Now I'm going to go off camera and take my time to cut the splits. Basically cut the roots out of this pot and then shove it in here and see what happens. I usually don't like to bury my rhizome, but in this case I may have to because of the way that it's been growing. So yeah, I'll be back. So that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. This is how it looks right now. As you can see, it was very, very root bound, and it's growing down. So it's making my life significantly harder because I'm not quite sure how I want to repot this. It's not supposed to grow down. Anyways, I think I'm going to have to just put it in the pot like this. The leaves are in one direction, and I think what I'll do is, yeah, I'm gonna repot it like this and have the light source facing this way, so that way the leaves are forced to grow straight. Yeah, got myself in a real pickle. This is why one of my houseplant resolution for 2025 is to repot as quickly as possible so that I can avoid this mess. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. All right, so I did finish repotting, and it looks like this now. It's totally facing one direction, which I guess is fine for now. I did have to actually bury the rhizome. I don't really recommend doing that, but I'm thinking that because it's kind of buried, what could end up happening is that the aerial roots that was growing around it may actually start taking off, and I may be able to cut it later on and then just slide it down. So fingers crossed that's gonna have happen for me. I did have to anchor it down with some saran wrap, just because it is facing one direction, and I do want it to I do want to create some sort of humidity around here, so that way it kind of forces the new aerial roots that's currently here to put off roots. So I want to get that activated and going. But yeah, I'm gonna to pretty much have this face in this way for it to grow upwards. This looks so silly. This looks insane. But yeah, so now this is done. There she is. This gloriosum, haven't had an issue with. I feel like some people used to say that they had spider mites with gloriosum because the leaves are velvety, but I've never had an issue with really any of my plants. I think very rarely do I have pests, and when I do, it's mostly just thrips, and you just You just gotta stay on top of it with spraying it down and treating it. But otherwise, I've never really had an issue with spider mites or anything like that. So all of these plants here, fingers crossed that it stays this way, I haven't had a problem. Yeah, moving on. The next plant that I want to show you guys is this one right here. This is another plant that I cannot pronounce, so here is the title. And she has grown so much. I'm not going to do anything with her today, only because I don't have a pot. But she definitely does need to be repotted for sure, because she hasn't put up a new leaf for quite some time. But maybe it's because I need to put back some sheets. I don't know. No, definitely it needs to be repotted. But I do want to peel this back because I want to see, let's take you with me. I want to see how the growth point looks. And if it's healthy, and it is, it's very, very juvenile. Can you see that? Look at how tiny it is. Very juvenile. So, yeah, she is a bigger pot. I'm going to find her a longer pot. I don't really want to stick with ponds. I mean, I know that the ponds is doing really well, but it's just so messy and it's so annoying because I hate rinsing it. Something that I feel like other people don't talk about is semi-hydro is great, but the amount of rinsing that you have to do to, you know, get rid of all of the residue, it's a lot and you're wasting so much water. I am very happy with the concoction that I have right now, which is peat moss, tree fern fiber, perlite, charcoal, bark. It's doing fine. But yeah, I think I just don't want to overcomplicate things. I feel like people just overcomplicate things way too much. Anyway, I'm rambling. I feel like also as I get older, I ramble. I didn't think I used to ramble, but now I'm a rambler. And I'm not quite here for it, but I am going to embrace what I am, which is a rambler. Anyhow, moving on. This plant right here is my pest designer. Do you see her? Look at this leaf. Gorgeous, stunning, big, hello-y leaves that I am totally here for. And she used to have so many, but as you can see, a few have died off. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it out of its misery and just start taking them off. So this was once a leaf. This was also once a leaf. This, I think I'm just going to cut off as well, but we'll see. And this was once a leaf. So they used to have 3 ginormous leaves that looked like this. And now I only have 2, and I'm okay with that. I'm not upset because, like I said in my previous video, when you have crawling plants, you can cut the rhizome and then slide it down, and then you can just continue to have these big, beautiful leaves. Oh my god, you guys! Okay, let me angle this so you can see. Look at this. Look at this growth point right here. This growth on this thing, it's too much. It's obnoxious. Wow, it's huge. I think this leaf is going to be the newest, biggest leaf. Like, it just keeps upsizing. Anyway, I'm here for it. So, what I'm going to do with this guy today is I'm actually going to give it a cut. But first, I want to see if it started to root itself, because if it hasn't, that's a problem. That's a real problem. Okay, so I don't know what the hell that is. This is disgusting. This needs to get cleaned up. This is grossing me out. I was hoping that once I peel back the sheets on these things that I could see some growth growing on. I see fried up aerial roots. I don't see any roots. So I'm kind of scared to cut it because I don't want my plant to die. But it's like really in there. I don't know what to do. I need a moment to think about this. Also, and it's trying to put off an inflow as well because I have like a really random nub going on over here. So here's the really random nub, and this is totally roof out. Like it's sturdy. Like you can pick it up by the eyes. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So after a lot of thought and confusion, I decided to just go for it and give it a cut because there was no way that I was going to take it out and then figure out if any of the aerial roots have actually put off any roots at all. I'm going to be really sad if this plant dies. Like I will be very sad. But anyways, this is what left of the mother plant. So I did go ahead and give it a clean cut. And as you can see, he's very root bound, very healthy. And I guess in theory, I could probably just let her live. I can just let her be and put it in another container and just continue to grow this because there is a very active node right here. So there's a green spot right here that is activated. Sorry, right here. Down here. I don't think you can see it. But anyways, I guess I could, give this away. But I'm not going to go through the trouble of trying to sell that and convince somebody that, it'll put off beautiful leaves because it's going to take some time. If you print it, that type of node and this cut, it'll take some time for it to put off like a decent sized leaf, especially one of this size. So what I ended up doing was I did cut it and split it down. So split this down and I saran wrapped the crap out of this, especially right here, because I want this to stay very humid. I want it to stay humid. I need it to survive because I will be, like I said, I'll be very sad if it doesn't. But I think it will. It had a lot of roots, but I don't know, like I said, I don't know if the roots belong to any of the area roots here. I know it belonged to the mother one. I just don't know if it belonged to this. But yeah, so I kept everything the way it is. We will find out in 2 weeks if I made a very terrible mistake in doing this cut. Because if the roots here did not belong to any of this cut here, then it'll start to rot. It'll start to rot and go away, and then I'm forced to repot. So yeah, we're gonna cross our fingers and hope for the best. And if it does start to rot, that's okay. I'm hoping that in this area right here, where I have like saran wrapped, I'm hoping that it'll activate the aerial roots and I'll start putting off roots over on this side, which is essentially really what I want anyways, because I do eventually want to give it a cut right here because there's no leaf here. I want to cut it down completely and just slide her over. Easier said than done, clearly. But anyway, I did have to anchor it down with saran wrap, so I have some cute little bows. It doesn't wobble too much, but yes, those are all of the plants that I would recommend for anybody who would like to spruce up their area. But yeah, these are like my top picks for philodendrons that are easygoing. Haven't had any issues or pests with it. Hopefully it still continues to grow and thrive even after it's cut right here. I feel like in the past with my gloriosum, I gave it like cuttings so many times and just let it down, and I never really had an issue with it. But like I said, their roots already growing further up ahead. I wasn't gonna mess around with this. This was just too far back. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was sort of helpful. I don't know, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.